Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back to the final in-depth candle review of the day. I hope you are having a fantastic evening. If you missed the first two in-depth candle reviews that I shared here on my channel a little earlier in the day, I will go ahead and link them in the description box down below. Feel free to check those out after this video. I did review the Kringle Winter Reserve Gingerbread and Frosting fragrance, as well as the Homeworks Citrine Forest from the Elton John collaboration. So both of those videos, like I said, will be linked down below. I will also put a link where you can purchase this fragrance here. This is Kringle Arctic Highway, which is a part of the Winter Flight collection. I will also put my affiliate discount code in the description box. That'll save you 15% off of your purchase over at Kringle Candle if you are ordering anything from there. Anyway, you guys, let's dig into this fragrance. I will start with discussing the fragrance notes, what I smell. We'll talk about the strength and throw of this fragrance, and then talk about any potential burn issues that I dealt with while burning this particular one. In full disclosure, also, I was sent this candle in PR, so I did not purchase it myself. I always like to be upfront about that. All opinions, again, still my own. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys right now, those of you that have been annoyed with Kringle this year for the output of more perfumey, more cologne-y types of fragrances, you're going to be irritated with this one because that is very much the category that I would put this fragrance into. It is quite perfumey. It does have an interesting coolness to it. So I do think it's kind of coming out at the right time of year. You know, I personally wouldn't consider this a Christmas time fragrance, but I do think a lot of people might really enjoy this one after the holidays. So this would be a great fragrance for someone to maybe transition into around January, if you tend to be a more seasonal burner like me. But again, if you have been a little bit annoyed with some of the more perfumey scents that Kringle has put out, I would just tune out of this video right now because I just don't think you're going to be happy with this one. So let's dig in. We will discuss the fragrance notes. We'll talk about what I smell. We'll discuss the strength and the throw, and then we'll finish off with the overall burn quality, like I said. All right, Arctic Highway. A unique, fresh sensory experience for winter weekends. A journey worth taking. So kind of not really a great explanation of what you're going to be getting here, but let's dig into the fragrance notes. The top notes are wood and fir. The mid notes are floral and sandalwood. The base is amber and sweet. Okay, if I were to just kind of try to explain in very simple terms what I think this smells like, I honestly think this smells like a kind of not generic in a bad way, but kind of like a generic fresher take on a men's cologne. There is a coolness to this one that is kind of interesting because I don't feel like any of these fragrance notes really lend to that kind of cooling effect, but I really do feel like this is more of a fresh, outdoorsy take on a men's type of fragrance for sure. I smell the woodiness in here. I don't know if I necessarily smell fir per se. I don't smell any holiday tree notes, if you will, but I do smell a nice woodiness. Definitely a very manly, more perfumey woodiness. I do smell sandalwood, very much so. I don't smell anything floral in here. Floral would imply that it starts to lean a little bit more perfumey and maybe the more feminine sense of, girly perfumey smell, if you will, but that's not, this is very masculine. I just really want to stress that. This would totally be the type of fragrance that I think would be fantastic for a bachelor pad. It smells good. It smells like a really good smelling man. So we'll say that. I smell the amber in here, and I think that amber really probably is more so than any of these other notes what is lending to that perfumey nature of this scent. It is more of that perfumey resinous amber. It's not very sweet. It's a little bit I don't want to say harsh, but it's a little bit more aggressive than I feel like their usual softer amber that they use sometimes. I don't smell sweetness in here. This does not smell sweet to my nose. Like I said, this smells fresh, cooling, outdoorsy. Yeah, I mean, it smells like a high-end cologne. I guess maybe somewhat generic, you could say. I feel like to my nose, a lot of men's colognes have a lot of, you know, like woodiness to them. Usually a little bit of amber in there as well. So, I mean, generic in that sense. But it is a lovely fragrance. I mean, if my husband wore this as a personal fragrance, I would love this on him. But I am someone who, while there are some perfumey scents that I have enjoyed from Kringle this year, this is not one of those that I have been super crazy excited to burn, if that makes sense. I think it would make a great bedroom fragrance, and I've tried burning it upstairs a couple of times. It's quite potent in the more enclosed rooms of my house. So if you're looking for a stronger performer, like I feel like this one is it. I don't think the strength and throw is outrageous in my open concept areas. I would put the strength and throw of this somewhere between like a 7 and a 7.5. So it's noticeable. It is potent. But when I take this upstairs into our master bedroom, it's even more potent. So in the downstairs of our house, we have really high ceilings and we have a more open concept style. Upstairs, obviously, the bedrooms are much more enclosed. We don't have an upstairs open concept. So in our master bedroom, which is a slightly larger master bedroom, admittedly, this is quite potent in there. So if you live in an apartment, if you live in an older home where your ceilings are lower, or you just don't have that more open concept style, you're probably gonna even notice this one even more in your house. So the throw, I would probably put it somewhere around a 7 as well. I mean, it does travel. It will travel for you. So you've got that. And if this is the type of scent that you like, I think you're going to be pleased with the overall performance here. Personally, this will not be a repurchase for me, even though the performance is good. I don't know. This is not one of those fragrances that, you know, I was maybe hoping to see from Kringle. I am personally hopeful that we see some more perfumey scents next year, because they have started to grow on me and I am enjoying them. It's not every single perfumey scent is, you know, like, woo, I need it, I want more of it. But they have been a nice change of pace. But really, where I think Kringle needs to go next is maybe into the gourmands. I don't know. The few gourmands that I have fallen in love with from Kringle are so well done. And so I know they can do it. So I have my fingers crossed that this coming year, they focus a little bit more on that particular fragrance category. Because I feel like that's where they have a fair amount of room for growth. You know, there's a lot of candle companies that do gourmands really well, and I don't think Kringle is really known necessarily for theirs. But with this soy wax formulation of theirs, it would definitely keep me from spending my money elsewhere on gourmands. So I mean, I don't mind giving my money to Kringle, especially if they are giving me more of what I want. So, but do I think we need more of these types of scents? I don't know. I don't feel like they have sold out like super quickly. So eventually I think a few of these have, you know, kind of sold out over time. But I think that Kringle would do better to focus on a different fragrance category to maybe push a little bit harder in 2025. All that being said, it's not a terrible fragrance. I just think we've seen a number of these this year, and I just don't know that a lot of people are crazy excited about these types of scents, good performance or not. So burn quality overall, I will show you. I lit this not long ago, hasn't even fully pulled out. You can see that it's starting to pull out here, but we still have that little chunk on the side there that has yet to pull out. Pulls out very easily. I trimmed the wicks ever so slightly on these. I, for one, have had very, very few wick issues with Kringle over the years. I think there was one time where I got puny wick syndrome for some reason, and I'm not even sure why. Usually their wicks are absolutely fantastic, and these wicks included have been doing great. You can see there's no sooting on the side of the jar. There's no discoloration. There is some wax that kind of lingers on the side of the jar. The soy wax will tend to do that. You kind of notice like some wax beads that hang around. Sometimes if the candle burns a little bit hotter, those wax beads eventually kind of, you know, flow down and rejoin the rest of the wax pool. So, but it's a clean burn, you guys, and this is really what I have come to rely on from Kringle, is that super clean burn. These are not candles that I have to babysit. I know not everyone loves the soy formulation, but I think it has been interesting to see how many companies are moving away from paraffin wax. There's a lot of you that still are very, you know, kind of annoyed that Kringle did away with their paraffin formulation, but I just think their soy wax burns so much better. I hope that there will continue to be a number of companies that do have paraffin wax for those of you that are really into that particular type. But for me, just the clean burning nature of their soy formula has been such a game changer. And these are candles that I really don't have to babysit in any kind of way. So that for me will always be I guess like a real plus when it comes to Kringle especially. But for what it's worth, I think this is a nice scent for those of you that like this particular fragrance category. But if you are getting tired of all of the perfumey scents, this will be an easy skip for you. I have one more fragrance to review from the Winter Flight collection, as well as I think one more fragrance to review from the Winter Reserve collection. So stay tuned for those videos coming up this next Sunday. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, check out the description box for the links to the other videos. Check out the description box for the link to where to purchase this if you're interested. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Don't forget to give this video a big fat thumbs up. Again, subscribe if you are new and are interested in more home fragrance content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.